Chris Yeloushan is the VP of Dealer and OEM Solutions at Rollick. He is deeply involved in building strategic relationships between dealers, OEMs, and consumers in the powersports space.
When I walk into a dealership as a secret shopper and I see the guy on the phone on the side, just sitting on his phone, Facebook or TikTok or doing something else, not paying attention to me, I'm like, we're so blessed to be able to walk over. If it was my dealership now, I would be on Facebook and TikTok and doing a walk around of a unit every morning. This is exactly what I have. I'll be posting it every morning. That's a hands down. Every dealership should be a social media amazing engine.
Welcome to the One Gang Worldwide podcast, your ultimate ride into the world of motorcycles. Visit cyclesworldwide.com where we offer a completely free marketplace for everything motorcycles. Join our One Gang community where you can connect, share info, and swap stories with riders from all over the world. Join for free at cyclesworldwide.com and be a part of the One Gang community right now.
What's going on, One Gang? We've got a great show for you today. Today we're hanging out with Chris Yeloushan, VP of Rollick. If you're a dealer, OEM, or just someone who loves motorcycles, boats, RVs, this is the guy shaping how you buy and sell in 2025. Chris, thanks so much, brother. Thanks for joining us. I'm excited to get to know you a little bit.
Yeah, gentlemen, thanks for having me today. I'm excited to be on the podcast.
It's Chris, welcome. We got a chance to talk and get to know you a little bit before the episode, and this is going to be a good one. We're looking forward to it. And we'll start with the icebreaker round. We'll break the ice, 10 rapid fire questions, and we'll rock and roll if you're ready.
I'm ready.
All right, cool. First question. If you had one toy for the weekend, boat, bike, side-by-side, or RV, which keys are you grabbing first?
Right now, it's going to be side-by-side season. My side-by-side's behind me. It's ready to go. Service is done for the year. I'm ready to hit the trails in the next few days.
By the way, his scenery, people, is from Ocala, Florida. So
yeah,
all those beautiful outlook that you see. That's one of the prettiest places in the state of Florida.
That's right.
Hands down, easily. All right, second question. If you could have dinner with one person, dead or alive, who are you sitting down with?
I would say right now, Charlie Kirk. If I could talk to him again, that's the person I would sit down with right now.
Nice.
Awesome. Third question. What's the craziest customer excuse you've ever heard for not following up or showing up?
I was in the bed with my wife.
Nice.
It's a good thing you didn't say so was I. So.
Yeah, that's right.
In all your sales training, how do you handle that objection?
Man. Yeah, exactly.
All right, number 4, if a dealer could only fix one thing tomorrow, would you tell them faster response times, cleaner websites, or better coffee at the showroom?
Faster response time, hands down.
Awesome. Time to lead. Okay, number 5, biggest adrenaline rush, closing a huge OEM deal or ripping a trail on an ATV?
Gosh, I would say ripping a trail on ATV, man. I love to be on the trails all the time, as much as possible.
Nothing better. Number 6, in your opinion, AI in dealerships, game changer, gimmick, or give it another year?
Game changer. We have to adapt now.
Absolutely. All right, number 7, favorite dealership buzzword you secretly roll your eyes at?
Oh, I have a full team. They call and text everybody right away.
That sounds familiar. All right, number 8, if you had to pick a soundtrack for a dealership sales floor, classic rock, country, or other?
Oh, classic rock for sure. It's got to be AC/DC for sure, no doubt.
Oh man, I love this guy already, man.
That's like
Charlie Kirk and AC/DC.
AC/DC, man.
We're best friends.
Might go through.
Did we
All right,
just
number
become
9.
best friends?
When you're not talking shop, are you more likely to be outdoors riding or boating or indoors digging into data?
No, outdoors riding as much as possible or on the boat for sure.
Awesome. All right, number 10, name your 3 favorite power sports vehicles of all time.
Okay, so all time, I would say my Honda Z50, right? First bike ever. I think got to have that. I love dual sport, so I would do a Kawasaki KLX for dual sport. And then I would say I would go to my old school. I would do a Sea-Doo. So I was a Sea-Doo guy back in the day, lived on a lake in Florida. So I would say my Sea-Doo XP, the old XP back in the 90s where you can move the thing.
Is that the stand-up?
Yes.
No, I had a Kawasaki 550 jet ski. I had one of those as well. But the XP, the one that came out with is so small you could maneuver, it was amazing. I missed that ski and it was stolen. So I missed that ski more than anything.
Huh. There's a guy on social media or whatever, and he I'm pretty sure it's one of those that he rides around on and he freestyles.
Yes.
And he does the same tricks that he did 25 years ago, and he still does them. And he wears the neon clothes, and he'll do barrel rolls in the water and jump around the front and like move around the steering wheel. And
I
hilarious.
follow him as well. I see it all the
Yeah,
time.
okay.
But it was yellow and green. It was like, yeah, the early 90s. It was amazing. So I wish I had that thing
back
still.
in our era.
Yes.
Oh, he broke the ice,
fluorescent
man.
coat. Yep.
Yep.
He successfully made it through the icebreaker round.
All right, Chris. Let's start it out, man. Take us back. What life was growing up, where you grew up. Were you always an outdoors guy, or take us a little bit into the early years?
Yeah, so I was born and raised, fourth generation Tampa, Florida native. I was born and raised in an outdoor recreation, outdoor equipment dealership. So when I was born, my parents were taking me to the dealership that my family ran it for over 50 years. We, at that time, they started in the 60s. I was born in 71. So, when I was born,
man.
yeah, I was 71 guy. So I was in the dealership my whole life, my whole childhood. So my dad worked, back then the dealerships weren't closed on Mondays. It was 6 to 7 day a week dealership. We'd be there at the dealership by 7 to clean up, be ready for customers, and leave there at 6, 7 at night. That was my whole thing. Every holiday as a kid, from Thanksgiving to Christmas, I worked in the dealership, right? Swept floors, interacted with customers. That was my life as a childhood.
Man, not a bad childhood being
No,
around.
not at all.
I'm sure cool people and awesome machines. What pulled you into studying industrial and organizational psychology at USF? Was that the case?
Yeah. So what happened is again, in the dealership, and of course, my father didn't graduate from college. He was at a dealer. He never finished college at USF. He had pulled out. My grandfather had a heart attack, so he had to start running the dealership at like 19 or 20 years old. So he was thrown into it, and then I was working with him, and he'd always, as I'm sweeping the floors, doing all the work, he'd be like, "You're going to college. You're going to college." So he would not let me finish through college. So that's when I wanted, but I wanted to study because I was always working dealership with our people. Our employees were like our family, right? The employees, all the service techs, the salespeople, the parts people were our family. So getting to know them, getting to learn how they expected their company to treat them. It was a small, we had 20 employees, so it was a small dealership, in perspective. And learning how to motivate people, to train people, to treat them like family was a driving factor why I wanted to go into industrial organization, business psychology, basically, and then sales. I love sales. My father was always having me at 10 and 12 years old. Hey, Chris is going to go out and demo the product for you. So I'd be out in the front of the dealership demoing the particular product with the customer, and then I couldn't close the deal. Obviously, I couldn't do the paperwork, right? But I would do the demo, bring it back to a salesperson, and they would take it from there and close out the deal.
That's cool. That's really cool.
Motivation,
So
right? How do you keep people motivated in your dealership today? Again, corporate America, it's just the opportunity now for the young kids to come into our industry and not go to work for a company and sit behind a desk Monday through Friday. This is a blessing. If we can grow the young kids out and show them there's another way, just besides not only going to college and sitting at a corporate America behind a desk and a phone.
So you finished up at USF, and then what did you do? Did you go back? Take us a little bit after college. Did you go into the family business?
The deciding factor was in 1994. My wife and I were just getting married, and I told my grandfather, if you want me to run this dealership, my father, you guys can walk away. I want to run it my way. You guys back away. You guys give up all control. Let me run it. Wow. They said no. They said no. They want to keep control of it. I said, okay, I'm done. So at that point, I went online. I found Progressive Insurance. They were hiring entry-level claims people to write estimates and handle claims on cars, boats, RVs, motorcycles, everything that Progressive insured. It was a no-name company back then. And I started off there and worked there for 5 years, and it came up to a manager level for those first 5 years. But my deciding factor was, let me have control of the dealership or I'm walking. And I left at that point, and that's where I left the dealership. And then at that point, they sold the dealership probably about 5 to 7 years later after I left. And then we kept the building, but we sold the dealership itself.
That was your first career break after college. You went to work with Progressive. Yep. And then how long were you with those guys?
I was with Progressive for about 5 years, and then one of our managers wanted to start another insurance company that did auto and home in Florida. he handpicked 5 of us from Progressive, and we worked at a company called Mercury Insurance. Now they're a pretty big carrier across the country.
Yep.
So I worked with them for 10 years, started the claims team there, built the whole thing from the ground up. We started with 0 premium in Florida and grew it to $200 million in about 8 years.
Wow.
So I was there for about 8 years, and I did marketing, underwriting, and claims and call center management. Kind of did everything as a startup, and left there because at that point, again, I was in corporate America. And we built to where we wanted to. And then there's a company back in 2007 called TrueCar. This was where consumers were looking to buy cars. And this is when the first digital buy your car online type experience happened. I went to that startup and worked there for 10 years where we transformed automotive, right? You see if all the companies, Carvana, Cars.com, all that was started back in 2007, where consumers were going online, right, to build, price, get an upfront price, negotiate the deal before we walked in the dealership. So that's we were the forefathers of that for 10 years at TrueCar.
Gotcha. That's an interesting switch. Very interesting career. So going back to the industry, getting back into power sports, when did power sports, marine, and RV first land on your radar professionally? And was it intentional? Were you getting back to your roots sort of, or did you stumble into it?
So several of us at TrueCar were getting feedback. So I was managing the insurance. So for TrueCar, we did a program that I spearheaded for several years where if you totaled your car, right, Progressive, Geico, Nationwide, all the big top 10 insurance companies, we had a marketplace for them. If you total a car at that point, they would recommend the TrueCar buying service. We would replace that car for that customer. During that time, Progressive and Geico and all those guys handled motorcycles, boats, RVs, everything. They're like, hey, do this for our customers, for all of our special lines customers. Of course, TrueCar, we were in auto. We were so deep in auto, there's no way we could take on all those segments. It's just too much. So we said, okay, let's spin off and start our own company. So the co-founder at TrueCar, Bernie Brenner, our CEO at Rollick, said, okay, we're going to do this for all outdoor recreation. So we started Rollick as a marketplace. So as soon as we got the company running, we got Sam's Club and AAA and Progressive Insurance to say, hey, we want to help your members buy all these power sports products. Will you guys help us? So that's how Rollick was formed, as a marketplace to get those customers to go into this. So it was great going back to my roots when Bernie said, hey, we're going to start this in recreation. I'm like, I'm in. This is going back to where I started.
Hey, let me ask you this. You got back into the power sports industry through different facets. You were in insurance, and then you with the startup. You remember the first time kind of walking into the dealerships, not as a consumer, but kind of as the business guy? And what struck you about how they operated compared to what you grew up in and the things that you've been doing?
Yeah. So the funny thing, I was using analogy, right? So back in the day, in our dealership, the Yellow Page guy would come in the store, right, selling Yellow Pages. You want to have a full page Yellow Page ad, $1,000 a month for a Yellow Page ad. That's what it was in the late. I remember that. I remember my dad going, "Oh, here's the Yellow Page guy. Here he's coming and hide." He would go in the back, right? He was hiding from because he's a sales guy. So I'm like, I'll talk to him, Dad. I'll talk to him. And he's like, you got to be here. You got to be visible. He kept teaching me all this stuff about Yellow Pages, and I was like, okay. So I always related that back to when we started Rollick. I was cold calling all the power sport dealerships across the country. The first power sport dealership I walked into, I said, I need an upfront price. I want to buy today. I was a secret shopper. He handed me a business card and scribbled the price of the unit on a business card, said, here's your price. And I was like, you got to be kidding me. I said, the technology we have, this is 10 years behind automotive, right? In automotive, I was already going online, selecting my inventory, building my car, getting a price, and have it delivered to my house, right? Or going to the dealership to pick it up. Now I walk into a power sports dealership, right then in 2017, and they're handing me a business card with the price, scribbled on a price of this. Oh, don't forget fees, taxes, setup, destination. I'm like, wait a second, what's the out the door price? I want a nice printout of an out the door price. Nope, didn't exist in 2017.
Wow, 2017 didn't exist. Holy smokes.
Did not exist.
We truly are 10 years. Our industry truly is 10 years behind automotive. No question about it.
It's insane. Did he initial the card at least? He's like, here's your out the door price. Don't worry. It's got a manager's initials on it.
No, yeah, just his hand, and said, go ahead. And I walked out. And I'm like, are you going to get my information? Because I want to see, are you going to follow up with me, right? I walked out of that dealership. They did not ask my first name, my last name, my email address, or my phone number. 100%.
Wow.
And that was my first dealership I walked in as Rollick. And I'm like, okay, we can transform this industry. We just got to, teach dealers how to adapt to today's technology. This is what consumers are expecting, right?
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
I think it's a lost art. Sorry to cut you off, Ben. It's a lost art, man, that we have such easy access to get information that people forgot the old school way, which was the real way, is you go in and shop it, be the consumer, see how you're treated, see what happens. It's the greatest test in the world. And a lot of companies don't do it because they can just Google it, or they want to see, how did they do business? It doesn't really show you how it works. It just tells you how they do it. So that's awesome that you did it that way, man. And it really shows a lot as you're building the business, of course.
Yeah, and I spent the first 3 years at Rollick just on the road, coast to coast in my car, going to visit dealerships, right? Sit down, get those experiences. How do we help these dealerships adopt technology? So we start off in Powersports, and then we basically blended into RV and Marine after. But the first 3 years were just all Powersports, me just traveling the country, visiting as many dealers as I could to try to figure out where we are with technology and how we can help.
Yeah. That's a perfect segue to the next question. Chris, I'm curious, what were those pain points that you noticed early on, the biggest pain points, and which of those are still sticking around today?
Right. I think the biggest pain point is the consumers are already shopping in the products online. They're already going to YouTube. They're going to social media. They're already shopping your products. Why don't you get in front of those products ahead of time to share that customer? Again, this is a experiential, this is not a car. You don't need a Toyota Camry every 3 years.
That's right.
We're so blessed to have the ability to have an interactive experience. So how do we help those dealers give that customer experience right up front? How do we leverage that? And so I think the biggest thing is for these dealerships is just trying to help them understand that. And some technology helps, but the consumers are going to shop anyway. So why don't we give them the best buying experience up front? Take the friction off the buying experience and focus on the product. This time we can focus on how you're going to have fun on the weekends, how you're going to use the side-by-side, how you're going to use the motorcycle, when are you going to ride it, those type of things, not on the buying, the mechanics of it.
Yeah.
Chris, what brought you to Rollick?
I was telling Bernie, for the CEO of, he was a co-founder at TrueCar, I was saying, hey, I'm getting Progressive, I'm getting Geico, I'm getting Allstate, I'm getting, Nationwide, asking us to help them with their consumers for motorcycles, boats, ATVs. I kept telling him that for 2 years. Right. And then there's a deciding factor. He's like, okay, I heard the same thing from USAA. We did a lot with USAA at TrueCar as well. And he said, we got to go in to do this Powersports. So we broke off. He left TrueCar. I left TrueCar. Jason Neerman, one of our other co-founders, left TrueCar. A couple other people. And we started Rollick to help these consumers looking to buy Powersports, RV, and Marine products. That's how we started the company. It was all based on feedback from customers and our partners.
A valid founding of a company with that much research, and then getting to go through and experience it firsthand yourself. That had to be edifying. So you wear the hat of a dealer, OEM, and partner connector. What's the trick to keeping all three happy when their goals don't always align?
We call this the Powersports love triangle, right? Because that's the analogy we use, because it's a two-tier distribution system, right? The only way you can buy a Powersport or motorcycle, you have to go through a dealer, right? Unless you're buying used from consumer to consumer. We did a future buying study with over 27,000 owners and prospects a year and a half ago. The consumers unequivocally told us that the journey starts online. Generally, the consumer is going to go to the brand website to research, shop products, then they're going to bounce back to the dealer site. They're going to go back to the OEM site. They're going to go back to YouTube. They're going to go back to Facebook. They're going to go back to reviews. They're going to go back to the dealership website again. They're going to go back to the OEM site, right? We know this journey is already happening. So the goal is to try to help our technology in all three. So Rollick helps dealers, consumers, and OEMs. So one big thing we're doing is how do we get all the OEM inventory, all the dealer inventory on the OEM website, right? Because right now, if you go to these products, if you go look for a car, all the brands or all the dealers are on the OEM website. They're not on these products. You have to go from dealer to dealer website to find inventory. So we've said, okay, let's focus on getting as many OEMs to put their dealer inventory on their website so consumers can find it. Then we can control that lead. So if they're on the OEM website shopping, let them submit a lead to the dealer right then, right? All they do is submit a lead, find the dealer, and submit their information to start the buying journey sooner. Don't wait to them trying to shop all the different dealer websites. If they want to go there first, they can. If not, let them do it from both two-tier distribution systems. Give them that opportunity.
How did the future of buying study come about? Like, how did you guys?
So Rollick has been instrumental in the MRAA. So if you look at all the retail, so we do all the CSI for the MMA, the CSI program for the marine industry, Discover Boating. So we've been collecting data for many, many years. So we decided at that point to leverage for 20 plus years. We decided to leverage the customer data for marine and then send all that survey out to Powersports, RV, every outdoor recreation customer to see if their buying journeys are similar or different. Actually, they're not. Right? Majority of, some difference, like when Powersports, most consumers want to buy within 30 days. In RV and marine, it's a much longer buy cycle, right? It's much more of a high consideration item. An average RV is 50 to 100 grand, both same thing, but a Powersports product, it's cheaper and people will buy within a 30-day period. So the buying study was in detail, just reaching out to all prospects and owners to determine where their shopping behavior is and give that real data to the OEMs and the dealers to see how their consumers are shopping. That was the justification for doing it. And we share this buying study with everybody we can. Sam and Tony, Garage Composites, they use it in all their presentation when they do a presentation with dealers of the data points that they're still sharing in the last year and a half.
Right. Wow.
That's
interesting.
fascinating.
Yeah, for sure.
So dealers often hear speed matters when it comes to leads. From your data, what's the drop-off curve really look like without acceptable speed to lead?
So consumers are expecting a call, text, and an email within the first 5 minutes of lead submission. Anything after that, within the first hour, they're already shopping another dealership or shopping somewhere else. All the time. I can prove it all the time. And I have,
Really?
5 minutes.
I'm getting on a daily basis, because we power an email nurture follow-up program for a couple of the OEMs. I can pull up my email right now and I get at least 5 a day of consumers with testimonials. I submitted a lead, I didn't get a follow-up. I submitted a lead, never heard from you, I bought elsewhere. All the time, all day long. And I've been posting on LinkedIn once a week, preparing for my NPDA presentation of actual real customer testimonials. If you don't reply back to me in a minute, I'm going to buy elsewhere. All the time.
5 minutes.
Chris, let me ask you, I'm kind of piggybacking off of what Ben was just asking you. There's so much information out there now, right? In our industry in regards to a lot of companies that do similar things. They work the same ways. It's all to really benefit the dealer. They're trying to help the dealer not lose sales. Why do these dealers continually make these mistakes? Is it lack of time to train? What's the situation that you're running into? I'm curious. I ran a small business, but I did all the sales. So I knew I was going to get sales done.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about the bigger firms that have 5, 6, 10 salespeople. How do you manage this and keep losing this?
The hardest part, that's a great question. I mean, the hardest part is the dealers are so busy, right? Everybody's running pretty lean right now. With the economy the way it is since COVID, everybody's running really lean. So you have to have a balance between floor salespeople, right? Customers are walking the dealership the whole time. And then at that point, customers are also putting leads online. So you have to figure out, how do you balance? Do you have someone designated to online? You have someone for in-store? I think the biggest challenge is just bandwidth, right? They have so much they're trying to do, because most of the salespeople are doing other things. They're not just selling, but they're doing other things at the dealership. So I think the biggest thing is just the bandwidth they have. They're so busy just trying to keep up. I don't think we have a lead problem, leads coming in. We have a follow-up problem, right? If you go look at most dealerships, if I pull up their traffic log, you're seeing customers come in, on a daily basis, enough customers to sell. It's a matter of losing those customers on that first opportunity when you do get it. So I would say, it's bandwidth.
Yeah, bandwidth. That's what I figured. Because you talked a lot about turning digital leads into loyal customers, right? And that's something that you've talked about. You're on LinkedIn with this stuff. I mean, you're very, very loyal to and accurate to what you say. Take us a little bit into what you mean by digital leads into loyal customers.
Right. Think about you guys. I mean, I'm probably the extreme. I bought hundreds. I'm a serial flipper, so I buy and sell 2 ATVs, 2 motorcycle per year. I flip constantly.
Living the dream, man.
It's a fun business for me to do
Absolutely.
on the side. I would say once I get a great experience from a dealership and I get to know them personally, I want to keep buying from them, right? I really want to keep buying from them. So, and I think the challenge is, when I buy something, it's not just buy it and I'm done. I should constantly be followed up with, hey, I need a winch, I need a roof, I need a windshield, right? All the stuff on my side-by-side. There's not a side-by-side that goes by my property right here that someone doesn't have accessories. Why are we not nurturing that customer from initial sale all the way through the first, second, third, fourth, fifth side-by-side?
Right.
Everyone wants to keep up with all the guys out here have egos, right?
Right.
Who has the baddest side-by-side with the most accessories? We all compete for it, right? So we need to nurture the customer from when they purchase all the way through the second, third, and fourth, fifth unit and all their accessories. That is the key to success. If we just sell it and be done with them, it's not going to work. Customers will find that dealership that they love. And people are loyal. People in general are loyal once you treat them with respect and you treat them with, constantly looking for their needs. How do we help them with the needs of their expectations for their customers?
And what would be the perfect vision for that? Okay, hypothetically speaking, let's say I buy a side-by-side. This is my second side-by-side from the same dealership. And obviously I bought it stock. So I would probably, just from a consumer standpoint, would love to be able to receive an email saying, hey man, 20% off accessories for your, or hey, we're having a big sale on bigger tires and rims. You get $1,500 off or something, just constantly feeding them to keep coming back for more. And I see like Revzilla and all those guys, right? The big boys doing that, but I don't see the dealerships doing that. They keep pushing the bikes.
Correct.
They keep pushing, and their accessory store is just as valuable as the bikes.
Yep. So what we're seeing is, so think about that, right? So I just was at a dealership in Colorado. He goes, the most frustrating thing for me, I just sold a $30,000 side-by-side to them. 2 or 3 months later, they're bringing it for their first service. They have the roof, the windshield, all that was done. It's already installed. I'm like, why didn't I sell that to them? They lost that opportunity. So Rollick is, and I'll bring this up at MPDA this week, is we have a full owner nurture. Dealers have no way to have an automated email stream. Once that customer is purchased, we'll know from Lightspeed if that customer purchased. So we're going to start an email nurture stream from the point of sale going out 3 or 4 years later to drive that customer to come in and purchase accessories, get their first service. And then at that point, when you bring in the dealership, they see the newest KRX, they see the newest product out there. They go, I want that one now. Then they end up flipping. I mean, look at Max Matern, right? He shows that all the time, and all the calls we have is like, they'll buy 2 or 3 units for me if you give that opportunity. So how do we get them back in the dealership to buy other ones? And he's great at pushing that in the industry.
What's up, One Gang? I used to think that if I spent big money on riding gear with a logo on the back, I was getting top quality. I gave Leather Up a shot. I wasn't sure at first, could I really get quality gear without spending a fortune? But after putting tens of thousands of miles on their jackets and vests, I had my answer. No busted zippers, no loose stitching, just solid, well-made gear that lasts. Leather Up carries trusted brands like Milwaukee Leather, Hot Leathers, and more, with gear for every rider and every budget. Plus, their customer service actually cares and picks up the phone, something rare these days. So do yourself a favor, check out leatherup.com. Whether you need jackets, vests, chaps, boots, helmets, or luggage, they've got you covered. And because you're part of the One Gang Worldwide family, use code CW20 at checkout for 20% off your entire order. Stop overpaying, gear up with Leather Up, and see the difference yourself.
Gotcha. That's, essentially retargeting when you boil it down, and that's imperative to generating new sales. And especially with so many people out there like you that are serial flippers, you're missing a lot of opportunity if you don't stay front of mind for those guys.
And think of the trade-ins they get, right? I mean, like Sergey said, like, you're on my email, hey, I just got this trade-in, and it has the wheels, the tires, everything on it. Come look at it, right? They might buy a used one. It doesn't matter. Just give them the opportunity to do it. But they have, right now, it goes dark. I think my Lightspeed study that we just did with them, less than 30% of the dealers or less than 20% of the dealers actually have a follow-up after purchase.
Damn.
Wow.
So even this is what drives me crazy. We have an industry that's suffering, right? I mean, it's a passionate-driven industry that at this moment in time is suffering. We're still going through the same thing we were going, once 10 years ago. It doesn't seem like, it's like no matter how much education is formed and how many times you have to realize, like, hey, the customer is what you need to concentrate on, man. And they're still making the same mistakes, and everybody's crying about struggling. It's like, you're struggling because you're not doing the basics.
Right. The profit center is the parts, service, accessories, right? That's their bread and butter. We made so much money in our dealership in parts, service, and accessories, right? So yeah, they'll upgrade every 1 to 3 years. But if you take good care of them, we had a pickup and delivery. I was 16 years old. I would go out there, pick up the unit. I'd bring back another unit in the trailer, like, hey, in case you want this one, I have one in the trailer sitting here. We just got your service. We paid you. Here's the, your monthly service. I brought it back to your house. Let me demo this for you. Oh my God, how many people would say, yeah, I'll buy that one, take mine back, just give me a trade-in value, right? Why are we not doing this in today's time?
Yeah,
right.
Absolutely right.
Brilliant. So many missed opportunities.
So many missed opportunities.
Right. Yeah.
And speaking of technology, AI is the buzz everywhere. And from where you sit, what's actually working with AI for Powersports dealers, and what's seemingly just hype still?
So we are full-fledged, and I'll share this in a week at NPDA. But yeah, we are from the pre-purchase to post-purchase. We're all AI. One thing we want to do, as soon as a lead is submitted by a customer, we want to collect as much information as possible. Hey, Chris Yeloushan, he owns a Honda Talon. He lives at this address. He's bought this many units. Before I even get to the lead comes to the dealer, we have all this summarized in AI. They can say, they already pull up all about me, know exactly what I want. I'm pre-qualified. I can finance up this amount, or I want to pay cash. I have a trade-in. I want to leave a deposit. We can aggregate all that to the original lead, and the salesperson can make that first call, knowing all that information up front. That is huge opportunity. So that will be what we're launching in the next month or two, a lead summary AI, and then we're also going to do the whole nurture piece. So we'll know when I put a lead in where I live, the images will match me. If I have a family of 4, it'll all kind of match that. We can append some data to it and have all about that customer on the whole email nurture stream from when they submit as a prospect or as an owner. So it's coming. I mean, it's here. It's just a matter of leveraging it and get the dealers used to it.
How do you see the marine, RV, and motorcycle dealers converging, or are they still very different animals at this point in time?
I mean, I was just at this campground in South Carolina over the weekend. I would say 50% of the sites had a trailer, had a golf cart, had a side-by-side, right? A Sea-Doo or a jet ski sitting there, right? These are all tied together, and no one yet in our industries have tied it together, like brought them all together. And I'm trying to get dealerships like, hey, I'm in Tampa, I'm a Powersport dealership. Okay, I'm a trailer dealership, I'm Lazy Days. How do we partner together to bring our products together to refer each other? Like no one's done that yet. So at Rollick, we're trying to get to that point where we can tie the golf carts, the trailers, the Powersports, the motorcycles, the RVs, and the marine all tied together.
Chris, let me ask you, man. I mean, this is something that you do for every single day of your life. You study and you try to understand why. Why do you think it is?
I think the challenge is the lack of collaboration, right? We're so competitive sometimes. So I think the challenge is a lot of these dealerships feel like, hey, that's my buddy down the street. He's my competitor. In our dealership, we were so close with all the different outdoor recreation dealerships in Tampa. We were trading all the time. Like, hey, we don't have this product to this customer. Oh, let me call Al's on the other side of town. Al's has it. Al's going to refer me, other person, once I refer to him. They'll always give back if you give to them. I was 16 years old, going back and doing dealer trades in the truck all the time at our dealership. So I think if we have that mentality, get off the competition. I know we're competitive, but with each other, this industry is too small. We always hear, you guys, that 3% of the population is into motorcycle. I think it's much higher than that. We just got to give them the opportunity, right? We got to bring more people in. And I think if we get more in collaboration and less on competition, I think we're going to succeed better as an industry. And that's why I think NPDA will bring that together, over the weekend.
I think so too, man. I feel the same way. This industry wins when we all win. It's not one or two big players in this industry that are always winning. It's like when everybody is doing the right things and everybody works together, it's only a benefit for the long term, not only for the businesses, but also for the consumers. I mean, shit, it's, you want to be able to have success all across the board. And I love what you're doing, man. I love what we're so fortunate, Ben and I, that we get a chance to bring guys like yourself that are dreamers, that are always working to help others, to help other businesses in this industry survive and be profitable and do successful things and make the right moves and treat their buyers the right way. And it's so important. And it makes me really shake my head and go like, man, how do you forget those simple things, right? They're just like the necessities of running a successful business. And how do you forget that?
Mhm.
Is it that you just get fat, rich, and happy, or what is it?
I think a lot of egos. I think we still have a lot of egos. I think that, I think the younger generation, my son's 29. So I think they're a lot more collaborative than we were. We were taught to be, stick our chest out, be competitive. And I think as that changes, I think the younger generation is social media, right? Think about this. When I walk into a dealership as a secret shopper and I see the guy on the phone on the side, just sitting on his phone, Facebook or TikTok or doing something else, not paying attention to me, I'm like, we're so blessed to be able to walk over. If it was my dealership now, I would be on Facebook and TikTok and doing a walk around of a unit every morning. This is exactly what I have. I'll be posting it every morning. That's a hands down. Every dealership should be a social media amazing engine, because the younger guys that are in there are already sitting on TikTok, looking at videos, scrolling through their phone right now. Why don't you have them put a nice area in the dealership with the logo in the back and just do walkarounds, or come out to the forest like here and ride for a weekend in the unit and then post that, right? It's going to get so much exposure and bring more people off their couches into the industry this way, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Not utilizing that, it drives me crazy when I walk in a dealership and no one even comes up to acknowledge me. They're on their phone scrolling on TikTok or Instagram. I wish I could take a picture and share this sometimes with what I see.
Yeah. There's so much opportunity there too, with, going live and answering people's questions as they're walking around the dealership after you start to build a little following and staying top of mind again. That's another huge missed opportunity, but it sounds like that's going to shift with this upcoming generation being more collaborative and being more engaged in social media.
I would think I would get more sales, and I'm in the RV industry. There's a guy named Matt who's kind of revolutionized. He's got his YouTube channel. All he does every day for General RV is post walkarounds. Okay, Matt's RV reviews. So if you follow Matt, he's over 1 million plus followers, and when I go to the Tampa RV show, he is a superstar. People are getting his autograph. All he does every day is does a walk around on a unit, posts it, what he likes about it, 3 things he likes, 3 things he dislikes, and that's it.
Yep. Yeah, he's not building some personality and the following comes from that. He's literally just going through and touring these RVs like, hey, here's your full-size fridge. Here's this, here's that. I like this, I like that. And the videos, the shortened clips on, Instagram or other platforms are just sweet, short, to the point. And I think they're informative. So he's built this large following of just people who are interested to see what else is out there right now as far as products go in that industry.
We in the motorcycle industry have to do that, right? I mean, we have these products that we can do this all day long. Our content will get exposure. I promise you that. I mean, just seeing what I see in social media myself, it just post every day and pick the coolest products every day and just keep reposting it. And, from your dealership, that simple. I just want dealerships to understand how important that is in today's environment.
Yeah. That's right. And they've got employees, like you mentioned, who are capable to use those platforms and optimize everything. Excited to ask this question. What's one of your favorite real life success stories where Rollick's tools or approach turned dealers' digital chaos into order?
I mean, yeah. So I would say, I got several testimonial examples. I think the biggest one is we did a case study of Brett at Paris. So it's an RV dealership, right? But the ability to leverage your tools on the dealer website, right? How the consumer can move down the funnel. If you give the person the ability to move down from the top of the funnel to the bottom, they'll enter all this information and then they'll take the product where the customer wants basically come in already pre-approved. The deal's already done, and we're seeing the engagement rate much higher, and then at the end, a better survey. So we've had multiple case studies. I think Paris RV is a great one. Fun Bike Center in Lakeland, Florida. If you guys are familiar with them, they're a really good dealership of ours. They do an amazing job. They give an upfront price. Every customer we send them through like a Progressive or AAA, within minutes, Dave over there will send an upfront price to the customer with fees, taxes, everything, and then schedule the appointment, right? He's been doing that since 2018 with us. Just knocks it out right away. So I think he's a good example.
Sorry to interrupt for one quick sec. I'm just kind of trying to understand. So basically what he does is I submit, let's say I'm interested in a motorcycle. I submit him a
CBR
form saying, I'm interested in the CBR 1000.
Yep.
And before I even get there, I already know exactly what I'm going to pay for out the door and everything else.
Rollick has a tool. We actually go in. It pulls the MSRP. It'll add the freight, the setup. It'll add the taxes. He'll know if they're in Polk County or in Hillsborough County. At that point, Dave will, within a matter of minutes, on his phone, he can do it on his phone or his PC, doesn't matter. he will send an upfront price to that consumer, click submit within minutes. And then he'll call the customer right after. Hey, did you get my price?
Wow.
And then at that point, the customer's like, yeah, I got it. Okay, great. When can I come in and test ride, or can I come in and make the purchase?
So no, does that not leave any room for negotiations or what?
I mean, what percentage of people want to negotiate? My 29-year-old son doesn't negotiate anything.
Yeah, I know.
I taught him as anything to do that. The younger kids don't. I mean,
That's
Yeah, you're
true.
right. You're right. You're right.
try to
You're
sell
right.
something.
We come
I
from a
sell things on different generation.
different
right?
You're absolutely right.
When I sell something on Facebook Marketplace, the last 2 side-by-sides or ATVs I sold, I put on there, no one negotiated the price at all. I met them at some location, my truck and trailer, and they literally came out and brought the cash and handed me the cash. Not $1 negotiated, but they were much younger than us, right? They were like in their 30s. The guys our age will try to haggle me down. The guys our age, Sergey, will go basically do this. Before they even meet me, they'll hit me on price. Okay, can you come $500, $1,000 down? Before they come out, then they drive their truck and trailer out. I always make them drive an hour, right? If you're gonna meet me, don't negotiate price, because I'm not gonna lower right when you get here. So,
Right.
You drive an hour to meet them?
I make them meet me when I sell my stuff.
Oh,
I actually negotiate the price first with them. Here's the price, and then I make most people drive, because if I have all my toys are out here in the forest, right? So,
Right.
so
You
I
gotta
bring
come out. Yeah, I understand.
meet me at the KOA in Fort McCoy, and I drive the unit up there, test drive it with them and everything, and then I just say, give me the money, take care from there. But
Show me the money.
just show me the money.
Right.
Right.
That's hilarious. Man, my 11-year-old, we just went to a flea market. He was asking me to go to because a neighbor found a killer deal on a train set, and he's really into the trains. So he saw one. He's like, "Oh, this is cool, Dad." And he brought it up to the counter, and then the guy in the back there, he goes, "Oh, you found one you like?" He goes, "Yes, but is this the best price that you can do?" I was like, "Oh, I'm so proud. I'm so proud, son."
That's funny.
I think the challenge, guys, is a lot of the dealerships are afraid to give an upfront price. Most of them are. They feel like the argument to me all the time is, well, they're going to shop my competition. They're going to shop my competition. They're already doing it, unfortunately. I mean, they're already shopping your competition before.
Good point. Yeah.
And I understand what's hard about our industry is we have the freight and the setup, right?
Yeah,
the setup on a side-by-side is much more expensive than a motorcycle, right? So we have that to contend with, which is not what you have in automotive. It is much harder. But the data shows on our future of buying study, if you give them a upfront price, if it's MSRP plus, again, it's an upfront price. Most dealerships won't. Our argument is they will, 95% of the time will accept an upfront price. That's it. So they just feel like, they really feel like they're going to shop competition, but we can't prevent that now. Everybody has their prices on their website now. They have the MSRP. The people are now like, hey, I have multiple, I can share hundreds of responses of people replying back to email. I don't want to drive an hour and a half. I just want an upfront price, out the door price. Just give me the price up front before. And I'm going to post that tomorrow. Actually, the one I'm posting tomorrow on LinkedIn is that exact example where they will not drive it 2 hours to the dealership until they get a written upfront price.
Yeah, so they know what they're coming into, of course. Yeah.
Just give me. They know they're going to pay freight. They know they're going to pay taxes. They know they're going to pay setup. They know that. If they don't, then you give them that information up front and let them make that decision before they drive 2 hours. It's a worse experience when they come in, they find that out if you don't tell them up front.
Let's get into the big picture industry insights part of this. Where do you see OEM shifting in the next 2 to 3 years? More direct to consumer or leaning heavier on the dealer network?
100% in the dealer network. The franchise laws are not conducive to that. This is a 2-tier distribution system, right? I don't think it's ever going to change, at least in our lifetime, where it's going to be the OEM needs the dealer. Let the OEM focus on the building the products, let the dealer distribute it. Our whole thing is just put your inventory on the dealer website, let a consumer put a lead in on the OEM website. We route the lead all the way to the dealer CRM. That's the right way to do it. The dealer is your marketing arm, right? You need the dealer for parts, service, and accessories. These industries, it's not going to change. I've been hearing, and I was in automotive for 10 years. Everybody's been saying that 10 years ago. It's not even close to changing. It's not going to go direct. It's going to be using this 2-tier distribution system. The OEM just has to focus on the product. The dealer has to focus on the distribution and the selling of the products.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons we, like I said, I love what you're doing because you're helping. We're doing the same thing, with Cycles Worldwide. We are launching our platform to give a free marketplace to the power sports industry. We want to be able to help dealers of all sizes be able to get their products out to a targeted community, and put that money back into maybe training, better training to their employees, more inventory, things of that nature. So I see what you're going with this.
So what we're doing is, so that thing, it's a great point. So we're working, all the OEMs will do this with us for free, for the dealer for free. Rollick is the technology company that's uploading the inventory and putting it on the OEM website. So the hardest part is when I call a dealer and they go, I'm not going to let the OEM put my inventory in their website. I'm like, wait a second. You don't want your inventory? I want my inventory across the whole country. Where can you show my inventory to every single person? Dealers will say no, they don't want their inventory on the OEM website. I'm like, okay, that's counterintuitive to my understanding. So what we're trying to do is we're making it free for the dealer. So working with the OEM, the OEM will pay a small amount to Rollick for us to post the inventory on the OEM website for the dealer. And then we're managing the lead distribution. So once the customer puts a lead on the OEM website, we distribute all the way down to the CRM within seconds. It comes as a lead from the OEM, and the dealer can sell that product for those 68% of customers that go to the OEM website for that information.
That's basically, once that transpires, then the dealership knows that the lead came from your company,
OEM.
correct?
Rollick, it says Rollick/Winnebago, Rollick/BRP, Rollick/ yes, and it'll say the OEM, and we'll summarize the AI with that, right? So we'll type in what the customer, they have a trade-in, we'll give them the ability to put a trade-in, give them the ability to put a deposit, we'll give them the ability to pre-qual for financing, we'll do all of that on the OEM website. Yeah. And then, so like on Winnebago.com, we have that full digital retail experience where they can start that whole journey, go to the dealer's CRM, it'll come from Winnebago, it's free, it didn't cost the dealer anything, and that customer can buy that because the lead came from the OEM website, but it went to the dealership to purchase. That's the right way to do it, right? It's so simple. And it costs the dealer nothing to have Rollick upload their inventory to an OEM website.
No brainer.
No brainer at all.
And that's going back to speed to lead as well. That has to be huge.
Well, like Winnebago is so forward thinking with us that they're doing it to where if you want to get the Winnebago Flying W award with them, they have to reply to the OEM lead within 1 hour. So they give them an hour, which is fair. I'm just telling you from my experience, people on their phone, when you put a lead in, they're expecting response within 5 minutes. But within an hour, it will work fine. If your team is call, texting, and email them right away. We're proving a significant increase of close rate by just having it come from that OEM to the dealer with that response time.
Talk about bridging the gap. That's huge. So here's a fun question. If you had a dealer community's full attention for 60 seconds, what would be your no fluff message about how to win buyers in 2025 and moving into the future?
But as I said earlier, social media, right? You guys got to be on social media all day long to get those customers engaged, to give them as much information as possible, to give them about the unit they want to purchase, and then follow up with that customer to a sale. Follow up till they say they're not going to buy anymore. It's that simple.
Gotcha.
What do you
Follow
think?
Up till they yell at you.
Yeah, for sure. What's the one metric that your best performing dealers obsess over that the laggards ignore?
Close rate, right? How many prospects come into my funnel versus how many close? What is that gap, right? What is the success? And they always tell me, the challenge with dealers in Powersports, they always say they're getting $399 to death, right? All these companies are coming in and selling them a technology solution for $300 to $400 a month, and they don't know how to measure ROI, or they don't get the ROI. The argument is, hey, if I can sell one unit from your platform, that'll pay for your subscription. Anything over that is gravy, right? I will make a profit every time. So I think that's the biggest thing to do is how do we get the dealers to adopt technology where it'll pay for itself? Like Rollick is co-op. So most of the Powersport OEMs will pay up to 70% of our monthly subscription because we're co-op with Rollick. So that's very easy. And then at that point, you're paying a few dollars a month, so it's nothing. But the biggest thing is close rate.
You said close rate. Well, what are you seeing is the industry's average closing rate that you're seeing? Where are we at right now?
So the way they kind of start judging it is on their website, right? Most dealers on average will close 3 to 4% from a customer coming on their website to making a purchase, right? That's small. I was using the example on Winnebago. So we're seeing almost over a 10 to 20% close rate on those customers coming through our digital engagement tool on their website. So we can see numbers 2 to 3 times higher if they come through our solution, through our digital engagement tool.
Wow.
So that's what I look at success is how many customers come in the funnel versus how many you close. Again, if a customer's on your website putting all this information in, they're a pretty serious buyer,
Absolutely.
right? I won't put my information in anywhere unless I know I'm in the market to buy. I don't want anybody calling me, texting me unless I know I'm going to purchase. So where are we losing all these customers from initial lead to sale? And it's usually, if you don't call them within the first few minutes, get them engaged, or if you have no follow-up, you have to have a full follow-up nurture stream in the first 30 days to get them to purchase.
Chris, you want to hear something interesting, man? I realized how little these people who get these emails from customers actually freaking read them. I'm going to give you a perfect example.
Love it.
Us as Cycles Worldwide, I put an email together that states basically, hey, listen, I wanted to reach out, just let you guys know there's a free alternative if you want to advertise. It's absolutely free, no cost to you. All the leads go to you, all the direct everything to you.
We're not taking anything from you.
We don't want anything from you. We just want to help your business grow. Create an account. It's free. Put your inventory on. It's free. Everything is free. Nothing. I get an email back and a phone call back from the guy. Guy's like, yes, Serge, what motorcycle were you looking at? And I'm like, what? I'm like, did you read the email? And like, I'll get emails back saying, thank you for contacting us. One of our salespeople will get back to you. I'm like, okay, that's fine. You know, I'm sure it's
autoresponder.
Autoresponder, right? Salesperson calls me or texts me back. Oh, thanks for reaching out. This is Rob. Which motorcycle were you actually looking at? And I'm like, son of a bee, man. I'm like, no wonder these dealerships are struggling. Nobody reads anything. Just because something comes across their desk, they already automatically assume everything is what it is. And it's just like,
all this gray hair, Serge, is all these examples. This is the examples of
hey, I know, man. I've run my own business for 21 years. All this hair that's gone is from.
Yeah, that's what we're seeing, right? So the AI, to bring back the AI piece, so we're going to summarize that lead you just submit. So AI could grab that paragraph you wrote, Serge, and be able to send back saying, this guy's interested in this. When you call back, format this response. Right. AI is going to change that right now. That's a great point of bringing AI, but I see that all day long of dealers. Nothing has helped them.
Yep. I've got a friend who makes tens of thousands of dollars a month by simply doing one thing. And he works with software called Go High Level, where he essentially local businesses like a plumber, for example, people want a plumber who will respond quickly. That's how you win that business. And if they're on a job or on the phone and can't answer the call, that missed call will trigger a text that says, hey, sorry, I'm busy right now. I'm on a job, whatever. I'll get back to you within a couple of minutes. How can I help? And the retention, it just skyrockets for all of these small businesses. So he's helping people significantly and can make a killer living doing it. But it's business in general. It goes well beyond the power sports industry. It sounds like it's really needed in the power sports industry.
Same thing. So yeah, we're bringing the same technology, right? So they don't reply. How do we have AI generate the response or the follow-up email to bring that customer from a prospect to a sale? It's exactly right. And I think that's what AI is going to change. All the small AC contracting companies, plumbing, right? You put a lead in there with them now. You're lucky to get a call back in a week. So same problem. And it's same thing happened in power sports, RV and marine. We see the same thing all day long.
Yeah. Chris, looking ahead, what's the next unlock for this industry? Partnerships, tech, or culture, or all of the above, a blend of something?
All of the above. Because again, we I'm so proud of you guys doing this because we need to I want to be part of this with you guys because I really want to bring the industries together. We have to do this. We have to start collaborating more. We have to bring tech. We have to bring partnerships. We do strategic partnerships with almost everybody in the industry. Again, we're competing with some of them. We're still doing partnerships with them because we know we have to work with Lightspeed. We have to work with DX1 because the dealers already adapt them. So how do we collaborate and not compete? We're going to still compete on products, but how do we collaborate to make the industry better? If we don't do that now, we're all going to be in trouble.
Agreed.
Amen.
Agreed. I'm going to ask you a question. I think this is kind of an interesting question for the listeners. If someone listening who's just a rider, not in the industry, why should they care about what Rollick and you are building?
Well, because we want to transform the buying experience. Right now, every industry, think of when you shop on everything else you guys do, right? It's generally find it on your phone, click, submit, and done, right? That's what you're seeing as a consumer. You come to this industry, it's luckily 7 clicks on average to put a lead in, right? Type my information in 6 or 7 times on a website, then submit, and I get no response. I'm leaving this industry. I'm going to industry that I can get instant gratification. We're an instant gratification culture. I hate this. I mean, our generation is not like that, but the younger kids are. If my son's generation don't get something in minutes, they move on to something else. It's just, that's the way it happens. So we have to capture these Gen Zs, millennials right now in our industry. We have to capture them this way. We have to be able to do it in a very different format.
Yeah. Awesome. Great answer.
Yeah. That'll be our episode preview right there.
It's my first slide on my presentation NPDA. Millennials and Gen Z. So my first video, that's exactly what will catch everybody, because we need to get to that point.
That's your hook right there. Yeah. So in closing, the floor is yours. Where can people follow you? Rollick, LinkedIn, websites, all that stuff. I'll add these in the show notes so you don't have to spell them out.
Yeah. So rollick.io is our website. Rollick.io, not .com. IO stands for in outdoor, right? Rollick in outdoor. So we want outdoor recreation. We made that very different versus .com. And then you can email me at chris@rollick.io. Everything, our future buying study, everything is on our website. All the resources, the tools to see everything. We'd love to schedule a quick 5-10 minute demo online to share all the buying studies and how our solutions will help our dealers and our OEMs. We're focused on dealers, OEMs, to help the consumers make that purchase. So for everything's on the website, chris@rollick.io. My mobile number, 813-957-8140. Call me. Obviously join NPDA. We all want to join as much as possible. We've been a partner for 4 years. Come see us there. If not, NPDA folks are all their partners. They're constantly doing monthly webinars, monthly sessions for all their partners. So you'll see me join one a couple times a year. Same with our other partners. They're doing the same, doing similar products to the dealer industry.
Cool. All right, man, Chris, you stand out. You are rapid fire with your answers. You really know your stuff, and the value that you're bringing to this industry is admirable and really awesome and interesting to observe. Thanks for spending the time with us today. I'm so glad that the industry has minds like yours. And I'm excited to see, how massive Rollick gets in the near future. This is great.
Hey, you know
Awesome.
what's
Thank
cool,
you.
Chris? You know what's cool to kind of put in it? One of the benefits and one of the perks that we have, right? We started this One Gang Worldwide podcast to give people in our industry a voice. We want to unite everybody together to help each other so everybody grows in one way or another, whether you're a business, whether you're a person, whatever the case may be. But what I love, like listening to you, sometimes, you listen to a podcast and somebody's talking about their company, you almost feel the greed in their voice where it's personal.
Yep.
It's for personal gain.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things I love about not only your podcast, but other guys in our industry is the fact that anytime anybody talks about this, it truly is. Yeah, of course, there's profit involved. Everybody's going to make a profit. They're businesses. We have to survive. But nobody, everything comes from the heart, right? We're a passion-driven business. And just talking to you, man, I'm just like, this guy, you feel it right away that there's a lot of passion in your heart for this industry. There's a lot of passion in your heart for others to be able to survive and continue that next generation coming into the power sports industry. So kudos to you, brother. I'm excited to meet you in Columbus.
Yeah, me too.
I can't wait to have a cool beer with you, man.
Yeah,
and,
for sure.
I'm looking forward to listening to you. So thank you so much for taking the time to come on board, man, and tell your journey, where your company is doing. We're truly huge fans, man.
Thank you so much for having me. We're all excited to grow the industry together.
All right. That sounds
Yes,
good.
Thanks, Chris.
Thank you.
Thanks, Chris. Have a great rest of your
You
week.
guys
buddy.
too. Take care, guys.